again, boys and girls. We're so glad that you have decided to join us and learn this week's lesson. Did you have a great week asking God for peace and living more at peace with others this last week? Did you know that when we do the work of making peace, others will see God in us? It's true.
All month long, we're reconnecting and talking about how to build bridges of peace with others.
Remember to keep working on our remember verse this month. So let's say it together. You guys ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go.
So let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another. Romans 14:19.
And we have another great worship song this week. And it's all about God being with us and being our strength and our Savior. It talks about when things get hard. And when things get hard, just to know that He can rescue us and bring peace into our situation, that we might feel at odds with someone or something like that. Remember to decide to worship God by singing this song to Him. It has some dance moves, so you'll want to get up and do those moves or some creative new ones, but sing the song to Him. It's really focused on Him, so here we go.
You're my courage, I don't have to be afraid. You're my fortress, no matter what comes my way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior. You are with me every single day. Through the darkness, oh, you lead the way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Every time I fall, you pick me up. You fight for me, you overcome. You bring me peace, you give me love. For you I sing, to you I run. I praise your name for all you've done. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Hi, it's your boy Jacob, and today we're talking about peace. Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. So, if you had an argument with someone and you feel like that relationship is broken, peace can help you rebuild that relationship. It's like building a bridge. Bridge, bridge, bridge! Bridge, bridge! You can build a bridge out of anything. Legos, popsicle sticks, spaghetti, and even trash. Sometimes we throw things away without thinking about how much we really need them. So I'm going to recycle this big, beautiful bin of garbage by building a bridge. Let's do this! It's alive! Now we just need some glue. Glue. Oh! Glue stick. That should work, right? Everything you build needs the right kind of glue to hold it all together. Without the right kind of glue, everything can kind of fall apart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Recycle Bridge! You see, it's hard to make things stick together when you don't have the right kind of glue. As you'll discover in today's story, helping people stick together takes the right kind of glue too. So, stick around. You see what I did there? Stick.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 15.
In a letter written to the Colossian church, the Apostle Paul wrote, "Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful." Now let's see what that truth may look like played out in our lives today. Katie wiped the sweat from her forehead and took a long drink from her water bottle.
How is it this hot in April?
She looked back at the long patch of scrubby ground on the corner lot by Miss Watson's house. Her friends, Caleb and Nona, were both pulling weeds too.
I thought we'd be done before lunch.
It'll take us days to clear out all this brush.
All three kids lived in the same neighborhood and were in Mr. Benson's 7th grade social studies class. It had been Katie's bright idea to start a neighborhood garden for their community service project.
Well, we have to finish, unless you want to fail social studies.
Even though the friends had been working for a couple of hours already, they'd only cleared the brambles from a small patch of land at the corner.
Even when we finish pulling weeds, we still have to dig up the dirt.
Yeah, and plant the seeds and water them and stuff.
Look, we just need to get it done. I really want an A, okay? Let's use what we've cleared so far and pick one thing to plant.
Sunflowers.
What?
They're big. They're bold. They'll brighten up the whole neighborhood.
I don't want to plant flowers.
Katie did a quick search on her phone for backup.
Plus, you aren't supposed to plant sunflowers until summer. That's a big fat fail for class.
Well, it feels like summer.
We should plant a pumpkin patch. I mean, how awesome will it be to have all the little kids come right here to get their pumpkins in the fall?
That's like half a year away.
You guys.
Plus 2 words, pumpkin pie.
2 more words, is disgusting.
Katie jumped right between her sparring friends.
You guys, we need something easy that will actually grow now before the end of the school year. I looked it up.
She held up her phone and showed them a picture of small flowers with viney green stalks.
What are those even?
You have got to be kidding me.
Katie checked her screen again.
Petunias. We can plant them right here by the stop sign. They grow super fast, we'll get a good pick for class, and then we're done.
I thought the whole point of this was to help people.
Petunias are nice.
This is ridiculous. Something that small will just get overrun by all the weeds we haven't pulled.
You got a better idea?
Yeah, sunflowers. You know, something big and beautiful.
Or pumpkins!
Katie ripped off her gardening gloves and hurled them into the dirt.
Fine. Do your own community service project.
You're quitting the garden?
It's not a garden, it's a weedy dirt patch.
I'll do my own project.
Katie grabbed her water bottle and her tools and stalked off.
I cannot believe them.
At home, Katie kicked off her muddy shoes and hurled her dirty gloves on the floor.
How'd it go, sweetie?
Awful. We hardly cleared any weeds, and Nona and Caleb wouldn't listen to my idea about what to plant.
It is a pretty big project.
I'm doing my own.
Isn't it a group thing?
Nona and Caleb don't even care about the grade. They want to do all this stuff with pumpkins and sunflowers and stuff we'll never even finish.
I get it. It's a lot easier to keep it small, but it's up to you whether you want to hold on to being angry or go make this right with your friends.
They started it.
Look, God designed you to be at peace on the inside, peace with Him and with others.
Okay, yeah, I don't know where to start.
You could start with more help. I bet Miss Watson would be willing to lend a hand since that weedy patch is right by her yard.
Maybe. Oh, and Mrs. Garcia is always trying to start a garden in their backyard, but she says it's too shady.
Maybe she'd like to help.
Katie nodded slowly. After lunch, she took a trip around the neighborhood and spotted Caleb shooting some hoops in his driveway. Then she dragged him across the street to knock on Nona's door.
You realize I don't want to talk about this?
I don't want to talk about this.
Just give me a minute. Both of you, please.
Caleb and Nona stared at Katie, arms crossed.
I'm really sorry. I got so stuck on making an A that I didn't listen to your ideas. I was just so hot and frustrated.
Katie's friends waited.
I talked to Mrs. Watson and the Garcias and that family with the little kids by the stop sign. They all want a garden, like a big vegetable garden. They want to help us.
Really?
We could clear the lot pretty fast with that much help.
And we can plant everything, tomatoes and beans and carrots and sunflowers and pumpkins and whatever people want to eat. We'll have to help keep it up over the summer though.
All the way to pumpkin season.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm in.
Caleb gave Katie a high five. Then they both turned to Nona. She hesitated.
Okay, sure, but you're not gonna get me to eat pumpkin pie, because sweet potato is way better.
Deal.
The Garcias can help out tomorrow afternoon, so we can get back to it then.
Katie headed home, relieved that she was on good terms with her friends again and at peace on the inside. She was living out the truth of Paul's words. Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful.
Some days, people are hard to get along with. Your sister spills milk on your homework. Your mom packs your lunch with that weird kind of bread you keep telling her you don't like. You have an argument with your friend over your group project. You just want to yell at everybody. But the Apostle Paul reminds us in his letter to the Colossians, let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace. Do you hear that? It's your job to make peace with the people around you. It's one of the things that you were made for, but you don't have to do it alone. You can have the peace that Christ gives. That kind of peace is strong and powerful. It's the glue that holds relationships together. So, if your sister spills milk on your homework, be quick to forgive. If you're in an argument with a friend, be patient and listen. And if you feel like yelling at everyone, count to 10. Or yell into a pillow. Or better yet, ask God to give you peace. Don't throw away a relationship without thinking. Peace is more important than being right. Here's the one thing to remember today. We can make peace with others. Think about who you need to make peace with today. Ask someone you trust for ideas on how to take the first step. You'll probably need a little creativity, and you'll definitely need the right kind of glue. Super glue. This ought to do the trick. When you see me next, I'll have a bridge that will truly last. Well, I'll see you next time.
Well, thanks once again, Jacob. Thank you actually for the reminder that we're not alone and that we have God's peace, which is kind of like glue that holds people together. God's peace does that. Are you busy building bridges with the people in your life?
So as we launch this week's lesson into the whole week, let's think about who we need to build a bridge with to make peace. So Miss Pam, when was it that you found it was important to make peace or build stronger relationships?
Well, you guys, you know this about me. My family plays lots of games. Like, we try to have a game night a few times every week. So we spend many evenings playing board games around our dining room table, but often it takes an effort to first get everyone around the table, and second, to keep everyone at the table. Because there are often times when we disagree so intensely on which game we're gonna play that we just give up and go our separate ways. And sometimes we'll try to negotiate with each other, and sometimes we just dig in because we wanna play that game instead of that person's game. And then once we start playing, sometimes the frustrations and that sort of thing get to a point where words are said, we have sore winners and sore losers, and it creates hurt and anger, and someone will leave the table without finishing the game. Does that happen at your house too? So sometimes we'll try to coax that person back to the table, and sometimes we're like, we're just gonna play without you. But you guys, the best times are when we compromise. So Mike and Olive might want to play Ticket to Ride, and maybe Alice and I want to play Clue, but we'll settle on playing one of them tonight and maybe the other one the next night.
Right.
And then we get to play 2 games together. And my favorite times are the ones when we're encouraging each other. So if someone makes a great move, we all encourage them. And if someone maybe doesn't have the best luck or draw the best card, we encourage them too. So there's never a time we pull this off perfectly, but when we all do our best to respect each other and to compromise, we really have a great time together. And I found that even if we go down in flames of anger and frustration, by bedtime, we have apologized to each other and we can sort of laugh it off. And for some reason, even with all the drama, we still all want our family game nights. They're so important to us. But you guys, I think it's because when we have fun together and we weather all those disagreements, we get to know each other more and understand each other more, and that's really what's building those bridges of peace within our family.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I mean, we all have family issues that might pop in where things are not at peace, so we can kind of relate to that. I figure that's happened for you guys at home as well. This month's Remember Verse is one that can actually help us remember what we should do in times like that, or our times when we're just at odds with each other and we need to work towards peace. So it reminds us to do all we can and work hard at making peace, building up. So let's say it.
So let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another. Romans 14:19.
So let's just do that verse all week and we'll be better off, right? So see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.